In today's video, we are installing the CarLock on the Trans Am. So I've been using CarLock for a few years now, and it's been protecting my Hellcat. It protected my Ram, and it still is. And now we have another one for the Trans Am. So first of all, simple installation. You can plug it into your onboard diagnostics port, and you're done. From there, it will monitor your vehicle. When enabled, it will tell you when your car starts. Let's start the car. Okay, so car start notification. It will tell you when your car moves. Let's move the car. All right, so there we go. Another notification when the car moves. It will tell you when your car has some sort of significant shock to it, like somebody hitting it or breaking into it. When there is impact detected. You will get a notification on your phone. In addition to that, if you turn on the safe driving mode, so if you have teens or you're dropping this off at the dealership, it's going to tell you things like who's speeding, who's taking hard corners, who's braking too hard, who's accelerating too quickly. All of that will come to your phone within a couple seconds of the activity actually happening. So if your car's at the dealership or your kid's out going nuts, you can call them up right away and say, hey, listen, cut that crap out. But what we're doing today is I'm going to show you how to use this piece, which is the CarLock OBD adapter. And all it requires, the CarLock only requires power. Everything else needed to give you all those notifications is inside the CarLock. So it doesn't connect to your vehicle. It doesn't pull data from your vehicle. The only thing it does pull from your vehicle is power, and that's one of the reasons why we're installing it in the Trans Am right now, because I really don't leave this car parked. I do have to get some body work done to it, so it is going to be away from me for a while. But generally I use CarLock throughout the winter to monitor battery voltage. When the car battery voltage gets low, CarLock is going to tell me, and I'm going to tell Alexa to turn on my charger. Alexa, turn on Challenger battery charger. And so with this device here, I'm going to show you how to find a good place to hide it. I'm not going to show you where I'm hiding mine, but I'm going to show you how to hide your CarLock in the Trans Am, and then you guys can figure it out within your own vehicle. But I'll give you a couple common places that's going to be a good fit for most cars. And then you yourself can go and hide your CarLock somewhere in your vehicle so no one knows where to find it. All of the things you see here are available on Amazon, and I'm going to put my Amazon affiliate links in the description below. I also have a discount code. You'll find that in the description below as well. And just so you know, an affiliate code means when you buy something from Amazon, you pay the same low price, but Amazon shoots me a little bit of their profit for recommending you to them. And this helps out the channel so I can buy all these cool things and test them without laying out a lot of my own money. All right, so let's get started. So now, before we go too crazy with wiring stuff, don't forget CarLock can be easily installed in your vehicle. Every car, I can't remember the year it starts, but every car, I just unplugged my CarLock, and I'm getting a notification that's telling me, that the device was disconnected and high battery drain. Anyway, let's get back to this. So every car, I can't remember what year it starts, but has an onboard diagnostics port. Somewhere underneath the dash. Sometimes they're hidden over here, over here. The Pontiac has it right here. To install CarLock, all you need to do is grab your CarLock. It's a D-shaped connector, wide on the top, skinny on the bottom. Push it in place. And as of right now, CarLock is installed. You're done. No further steps are needed unless you want to hide it away. To get started, you will probably need a few of these tools, and I'll link to them in the description below. These are the tools that I use regularly and have been for many years now. Got a trim removal toolkit. It gives you pretty much every angle and every type of wedge to pop off interior trim pieces. We got this guy, which is amazing at removing those really annoying clips. So instead of using a flathead screwdriver, it kind of grabs them and pulls them out for you without doing any damage. And then this one, which gets underneath those annoying Christmas tree poppers, and then you can just squeeze it and pop it right out. Then of course, random screwdrivers and whatever you need to access whatever panels. You're going to need a voltmeter or a test light to find that 12 volt circuit that you're going to tap into. And we'll also need a tap kit. So this kit will actually tap your wires, and then you can plug in a spade connector to make your connections. Now it's very important you buy a kit because you don't know what gauge wire you're going to run into. And the reason a lot of these clamp-on things fail is because people use these super big gauge ones and they put it on mini gauge wires and it doesn't make an accurate connection. So basically you want to make sure that you use the right gauge ones so you're actually making contact with the wires. So grabbing a kit like this, it's only a couple bucks and it'll give you, well, if you don't do a lot of installs like me, a lifetime of taps available. Again, all of this stuff will be in the description below with my Amazon affiliate links so you can grab them, and all of these things I use on a regular basis. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a few places where you can hide your car lock and tap into an existing 12-volt circuit with very little work and effort. And plus, you want to make sure that you have a good contact with the body of the vehicle so you can detect all of those impacts when they do happen. So a couple great places. Driver's seat. You have a power driver's seat. There's always power under this seat when the car is off. So it's a great place to tap into. If you attach it to the springs of the seat, so if somebody jumps in the car, it's going to set that off. Or if you go down and attach it to the frame of the seat without interfering with the mechanism, you'll have attachment to the body of the car so it can detect impacts on the actual body of the car. Up behind the dashboard is probably the most common place to hide these. It's a great place. You can hide it all the way up there if you can take all your panels off and get up there. Again, zip tie it to one of the metal frames with some sticky tape. Another great place to stash your car lock is behind your radio. There's lots of power wires back there. There's the framing of the vehicle back there. Another great place to hide your car lock is underneath that center console. There's plenty of wiring back there for you guys to tap into. And this one takes a lower amount of effort to pop out. Usually it's just a couple bolts and a few clips. There's also a lot of places back in the trunk. So if your car is like mine and has an awesome 12-disc CD changer sitting inside of it, there's obviously power back here that we can tap into. Also, if you're a GM owner, they've usually have amplifiers back under here that you could also tap into for power. Like I said previously, I am not going to show you exactly where I'm going to hide mine, but I will in fact do an install for you. And I really think popping off this spare tire cover and accessing all the wiring back here for the GM Monsoon amp is a good place to give it a shot. All right, so we're going to remove this body panel. We got to be careful that there's speaker wiring right here. So I picked probably one of the best places to hide this because it's already got a vehicle shock sensor. As you can see, that thing lights up. So we know it's got power with the vehicle off. We know it's in a good spot to sense shock. So what we need to do is we need to grab our voltmeter, and I'm going to try and get all of this on screen for you. So we're going to have the voltage setting turned on there. And we are going to first make a connection to the body. We have a little bare metal back there. And then I am going to stick my probe into an open slot if I can find one. There we go. We got 12 volts right here on the orange line. We got 11 volts on the blue line. What do we got on the green? We got 12 volts on the green. Nothing on the black. That leads me to believe that the black is probably the ground, which is very common. Got 12 volts, yep. All right, so black and orange are the wires that we would tap, and I'll run through the whole process and tap this. So now that we've determined where we're going to wire it, we are going to pick a tap that best suits that wire. Now, if you take a look at those wires, they appear to be 18 to 22 gauge, so we are going to grab the 18 to 22 gauge one. You obviously don't want to go all the way up here where there's that giant opening there. So we want to make sure we make contact without cutting the wire out, and this looks like the one that's going to do the job. Now, I am not installing mine here, so I am not going to tap those wires, but as promised, I will show you how to use these taps. So I've got some extra wire from a project I was working on. This is definitely a bigger wire. So what I like to do is you get it inside that little gap there, right? So you have that like this, and this is going to cut into the shell of the wire. So you get it to like this point, so you know it's going to cut through. And I like to use vice grips because you can adjust the clamping power just by going like this. You can fine tune it. Now you're not going to crush this. You're actually going to provide even pressure to clamp this wire through and through and click it in place. Now this is locked. The wire is not going anywhere, and now you have a place to plug your spade connector into. Again, each of these spade connectors has a wire gauge that you can work with as well, and you're going to crimp that on. So now there's two types of wire crimpers. You'll see one of these that have that clamshell that just squeezes the wire. These are my actual favorite, that have the teeth that actually crunch the wire down. So you load it into the appropriate slot for the crimp connector you have. You push in the wire all the way up to, so it's inside the barrel, and you give it a squeeze. So now this spade connector does not pull off. You got to give it some good tugs to make sure it's not going to fall apart. And now all you do is simply plug your positive wire in. And here's something I want to show you with these connectors. You see what I did there? I don't know if you can see it on camera, but they're usually out of alignment. So when you first plug them in, and if you're looking from this angle, everything looks beautiful. But you look from this angle, you totally miss the spade connector is outside, not making contact with the wire. You may have to reach in there with a screwdriver and bend it to the center. This way it centers itself. Once you have it bent to the center, now you can insert it in here. Make sure it hides on both sides and give it a good firm push till it clicks into place. So now you have a sealed connection on all these wires. And again, if you chose the right blade, this will last you a very long time without any issues. And now all that's left to do is go to your CarLock app, make sure you've got battery voltage sitting right here. Notice when I unplugged it right there, it gives me a good dip. So just make sure you got battery voltage. Now you can put your car back together. So I didn't install it here, but basically just toss your car panels back together again and you are done. So one of the last pieces of this install is the CarLock Tag. Now what the CarLock Tag does is it connects to your phone via Bluetooth. So when you approach your vehicle, it disables CarLock. When you walk away from your vehicle, it enables CarLock. So when installing your CarLock Tag, you're going to have a 3M sticky pad and you're going to stick this to something. I highly recommend you stick it to something where you can access it, because you have to pop this open through this little slot right here. So I'll take the battery protector out. So you use this slot here to open it up to change the battery. It's a CR 2016. And changing the battery is a little bit cumbersome because nothing holds everything in place. You kind of got to sandwich together and snap it in one motion. So if you put it somewhere where it's really difficult to get at, you know, some easy places are here or on some removable stuff. I mean, when was the last time you saw a coin tray? So like sticking it to here so I could take this inside with me and work on it. For me, I think I found a cool place right here. Since you guys already know I have a CarLock, I could share this with you, but I'm just going to stick it to the bottom of my ashtray, and then this way when I need it. CarLock Tag has an amazing range. Like, I'm sitting in my kitchen all the way over there, and my truck is arming and disarming when I'm washing dishes. So you don't have to worry about where you put it. So it goes from my truck through the metal and wood glass of my truck into my house through the wood and glass of my house, and it still connects. So when I'm really close to that window, it works fine. So you don't have to worry about where you put it in your vehicle. All right, so we got the CarLock Tag stuck in place, and now my ashtray is a nice hiding place for the tag. All right, so in closing, I went over a lot of the details of the installation and some of the features of the CarLock. I've got a really good video I recorded about a year ago that goes into detail about all the CarLock features and how to set it up. I'll link to that in the upper right. Just so you guys know, CarLock is kind of like a risk-free thing if you buy it from Amazon, because you got Amazon's return policy and CarLock gives you the first month free. So if you want to try it out on your own, zero risk right there. CarLock does come with a monthly fee, and at the time of this video, that fee is $9.60, and that's about what it's been for the last couple years that I've had the CarLock. Now that fee is going to cover all the real-time alerts with a mobile connection to your vehicle for all the things that we discussed in this video. I have affiliate links for all the tools and the CarLock in the description below, along with a discount code for CarLock. And again, remember, affiliate links, every purchase you make, you pay the same low price plus whatever discount I get for you, and I get a small cut of their profits to help the channel. I don't want money from you guys. I'd rather get money from these guys for making videos and doing stuff like this so I can fund more cool projects. So thanks for your support. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to gently press that like button. If you're stopping by for the first time, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching.